Heyo, today's video is Battle Tower, bosses 20 to 30. So let's jump straight into it. At B20, you will be facing a couple of Ice enemies, the Icy Raven boss. So you will need to bring fire and circle or triangle sigil break. For my team setup, I actually went for the weakest possible team I could, just to make it more realistic, so to speak, because if I used my strongest team, we wouldn't be able to see any of the mechanics or anything like that. So the first wave, you just beat them down. Second wave, focus the Deendler and make sure the bomb does not get its burst ability off. For the third wave, you want to focus the Cerulean Elemental, but you don't want to kill it, so get it to about red HP bar, and it will switch over, dealing damage to the Raven and debuffing it, and then you can just finish the Raven off. I didn't bring any heals into this fight, so it's a little close for comfort, but you should bring heals if you need. B25 is against the Grash enemies, and your characters get a 20% physical attack boost and a magic attack debuff, but the enemies have physical defense up at the start of the wave. So you decide physical may be better even with their defenses. You want to bring fire and ice to hit their weaknesses, and you need an X sigil for the boss. And the Grash enemies also like to poison you, so bring along a couple of healing SNRs for poison. I also recommend bringing a breach if you're doing physical damage, or a mana breach if you're doing magical damage. I again went with a weak team. I'm below the recommended, just to make it as realistic as possible and not just insta-wipe every enemy. So level 1 stuff for Barret, 1 good weapon for Glenn, and 1 good healing weapon for Matt. Of course you want to Ice, Fire, and X sigil break. First wave is just a beatdown. Get rid of the trash mobs. The second wave, you want to target the little guy first, because he is easy to get rid of, and the big guy is actually quite tanky. This is why I recommended bringing Breach. You can lower his defenses to make this a little easier. If you're at low power, around or below the recommended, you can actually use your limit breaks as soon as they come up, because they should be back up for the boss. Just remember to cure poison if they poison you, but for the most part, in semi, your characters should cure each other without your input. For the final wave, you want to focus down the elementals, again to red HP bar, so that they explode and deal damage to the boss and debuff her. You can see she has a lot of defense. And if you are struggling against her damage, it might be useful to bring a character like Matt or Red, who have a limit break that protects you. Burst down the elementals. Remember not to finish them off if you can help it, and they will help you damage and debuff the boss, and then you can just finish her off. From the next boss onwards, I will be using my main team, just so that this video does not go on for hours. Next boss is floor 29. You'll be facing the Sahagin Prince and his henchmen. Everybody is weak to fire, so bring fire along, and a circle sigil break. And the Sahagin likes to boost his attack, so you can bring a D-Brave. My team setup that I will be using for the last two floors in this video, and some more floors in the next video, will be the same. So Lucia with level 6 boost physical attack. The only things that will change are the required elements and sigils. Sephiroth with boost magic attack level 7. And Aerith with D-Brave for this fight. And since she's my healer, needs to cast heals, I actually switch D-Brave with Lucia's Mana Breach. So Lucia can cast D-Brave and Aerith can heal. Sephiroth, classic sub-weapons for magic attack. Aerith, heal, boost heal sub-weapons. And Lucia, boost physical attack. Clear out the trash in wave 1. In wave 2, I would focus the Sahagin. He's quite easy to kill, and the security officer takes a while to get his things off. Third wave, you want to get rid of the little Sahagin first. and then you can burst down the Sahagin Prince, or if you're struggling to burst him or struggling with his damage, you can spam Debrave until his buff has gone away. The last boss for this video is the Astral Iron Giant. The enemies here like to buff their physical attack. Everybody except for the boss is weak to fire, and you will need a triangle sigil break for the boss. As I said, they also buff their attack, so a Debrave materia is super important for this fight. Also, the boss is resistant to all elements, so I recommend bringing your standard limit breaks instead of summons. So I'm quickly changing my sigils to what I need. And if you have a weapon with a strong non-elemental attack, you can bring that. And don't forget your Debrave and standard limit breaks. First wave is just a janitorial duty. Clean up the trash. Second wave, you want to focus the elemental once again down to red so that it explodes, helping you out, debuffing the enemies. Then you can pound the prince and the soldier. And finally, the boss. You want to start debraving him as fast as possible to get those physical attack buffs away. Then you can tank his ability. Spam him with your non-elemental abilities if you have any. Pop your limit breaks. Then he buffs his attack again, so hit him with some debraves and defense mode. And eventually you will take him down. That is more or less it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.